Reparations is not charity. Instead, reparations is justice. Let that sink in for a second. Because we've been conditioned to think that the West is doing Africans, Black people, the Caribbean a favor by paying them back for the atrocities that they committed. They always package it as a favor. We're extending you a courtesy. You know, we didn't do this. It's not me. It's not my mom. It's not my grandfather. It's 5 generations before me. So I'm just being nice by paying you back. And whatever I give you, you must take because I'm just being nice to you. And let me tell you, they tried the wrong one because the Prime Minister of Barbados is not one to try. She came and said, excuse me, who do you think you are? Who do you think you're talking to? It's not charity, it is justice.
It is compounded by the failure of the developed world to accept that reparatory justice is a solemn obligation which we must confront. The conversation King Charles told us at the opening of the Commonwealth Heads of Government when he was Prince Charles was a conversation whose time had come, that of reparatory justice. But it can't be a slow conversation taken up when people feel like. It has to be a conversation in which equal partners discuss. It cannot be an act of charity of those who simply feel that their conscience must be cleansed.
Hello there, how are you doing? Welcome again to another episode of our conversations. My name is Ondiro Oganga. I'm a business journalist by profession and a digital content creator. I love coming on here, having conversations with you guys about Black people, Africa, our empowerment, and how we can rise up and take our rightful place at the global stage. Now, one of my favorite people spoke at the United Nations General Assembly. It's not a secret that I love Mottley. I love how bold she is. I love how brave she is. I love how no-nonsense she is. I love how she's settled in her leadership as a woman. And you can't tell. In fact, when it comes, she has ice in her veins. She's made of iron. So many things that her male counterparts will not dare speak about, she will speak about them. She stood up against the West over and over and over again. And she speaks about issues that affect people, you know, issues that nobody is willing to take on. Trust me, Mottley will take it on, you know. One of her speeches that went viral was during the climate summit, where she just called people out. And she was like, what do you want? Do you want us to drown? Do you want us to drown? Because you're heating up the planet, water levels are rising, and you don't want to do anything. You don't want to cut on emissions. You don't want to pay for adaptation and mitigation. What do you want? Stop this hypocrisy. Stop pledging money that you know you will not pay. We thought she was done. No, she was not. She is back. She is back. I know I sound a little bit excited in this video than I sound in the others because one, I love Mia Mottley as a person and as a leader, but most importantly, I love that she has a voice and she stands for something, because rarely do you find leaders that are willing to put themselves on the line, to put their leadership on the line, to put their popularity and influence on the line, to speak about things that truly matter. And I'll tell you why it's very important that she's added and continues to add her voice to these reparations conversations. Because when people are talking about reparations, even those asking for it, it's almost like there's some sense of fear. There's no bravery, there's no courage, there's no audacity. Do you know the audacity it took for one human being to decide that a fellow human being was less than and was going to be their slave? The Western audacity that it took to kidnap people like them. The only difference is skin color. Every other thing is the same. Kidnap people, sometimes buy them for little to nothing. Can you imagine buying a whole human being, right? And putting them in very inhumane conditions, right? Piling them on a boat, shipping them off, and then making them work for you for little to nothing for years. Years, and you are not feeling guilty. No sense of guilt. You mistreated these people. Some of them took their lives. Some of them lost their lives in your hands. And you built wealth, development, and prosperity. Do you know the audacity it takes? And now, when African leaders and other people want reparations, it's almost like we're approaching it from a polite point of view, from a reasoned point of view. No. Mia Mottley is saying no. There are no gray zones. It's black and white. In your wisdom, you sat down and thought that black people can be your slaves. And now, we black people, in our wisdom and the same audacity, have decided that you will pay for the atrocities you committed against us. Tit for tat is a fair game. Because when you approach it with reason, with a conscience, they're going to guilt trip you. Because they'll be like, oh, no, we didn't do this. Oh, no, what do you want from us? You've been guilt tripping us all this while. You keep bringing it up. Get over it. It was 400 years ago. It was 200 years ago. Aha. Very nice. It was 200 years ago. Where's our apology? It took 200 years for the British royal family to offer an apology. And that apology is yet to get to Africa, by the way. Because we're still, and because Mia Mottley has opened that door, we will get there. Because I'm sure the new crop of leadership coming up, somebody will bring it up. Right? Somebody is going to bring it up. Can you imagine if it takes 200 years to get an apology? An apology! I am sorry. It takes 200 years to say, I am sorry for kidnapping you, for stealing you, for treating you as an object, for buying you, for mistreating you, for using your people for free labor, for stealing development, for stealing your resources. It took 200 years. Sorry, that doesn't cost you anything. But you know, Western people are economists. They think about everything in terms of liability. The moment you say you're sorry, then you've admitted to a mistake. And then now you open the door to compensation. Mia Mottley says, this is not charity, man. This is justice. We know what you did, and you know what you did. So the time is now to pay up. And trust you me, as sure as you use slaves to develop, be sure you will pay for the things that you did. And not just small payment, it will be a fair and a just compensation. A round of applause for Mia Mottley. Let's listen to what she had to say.
It is compounded by the failure of the developed world to accept that reparatory justice is a solemn obligation which we must confront. The conversation King Charles told us at the opening of the Commonwealth Heads of Government when he was Prince Charles was a conversation whose time had come, that of reparatory justice. But it can't be a slow conversation taken up when people feel like. It has to be a conversation in which equal partners discuss. It cannot be an act of charity of those who simply feel that their conscience must be cleansed. We were about to write the leaders of the European Union last year on this issue of reparatory justice, and we paused because of the Russian incursion into Ukraine. But it seems as though there are not those who want to make peace there or elsewhere in the world, and therefore we have to lift our finger off the pause button and resume the discussions, because the development deficit caused by centuries of exploitation is now affecting our capacity to build the resilience that is necessary in our nations.
I feel like most of the time I come here and I'm doing like so many sad videos. So to just get here and do a video where I don't have to be sad because a leader is standing up for their people and championing for a worthy cause, sign me up any day, anytime. But I know that my joy will be short-lived, because just in a couple of minutes, somebody is going to do something. Somebody is going to do something, and then we have to come back here and call them out again. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Remember to always comment. I appreciate so much when you leave comments in the videos. Give this video a like, give it a thumbs up, and also share it with a friend. You never know, they might like it. They might like Mia Mottley, or they might like what I'm saying. Who knows? Connect with me on social media at Ondiro Oganga on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'll see you again next time.